All right, thank you, Ryan. We are here in Provo. The BYU Cougars taking the field, getting ready to host the Aggies, in-state rivals from Utah State. And welcome to ESPN College Football Primetime, presented by Jimmy John's. It is just a spectacular night in a packed house here in Provo. Undefeated 18th ranked BYU at home against the Aggies of Utah State. Hi, everyone. Dave Fleming alongside Mike Bellotti. Allison Williams is with us as well. Mike, what a weekend of college football. I think you could say it started last night in Eugene with the big upset, Arizona over Oregon. But we've got tremendous matchups all weekend long. That playoff committee is going to find out a lot tomorrow.
No question. Unfortunately for the Ducks, they're one of the first top 25 undefeateds to go down. But we've got a bunch of other games. The SEC West, oh my gosh, great football games this weekend. And I'll tell you what, they're all those good games, but I'm really looking at that Texas A&M Mississippi State game. You've got two different quarterbacks. Kenny Hill throwing the ball all over. Dak Prescott from Mississippi State can run it. I don't know, but I still like A&M. I just think it's going to be the closest game of all of them. I also like Stanford Notre Dame, which you and I would talk about. I think Stanford favored at Notre Dame. Amazing. Everett Golson, 25 consecutive completions last week. I don't think that'll happen against the Stanford D.
So great slate of games tomorrow. Meanwhile, here tonight, BYU climbing the rankings, 18th ranked, with some hopes of making it into that playoff picture. Are those chances realistic?
You know, I tell you, I think they can only do what they control, and I think they can win every game that they play. Taysom Hill is a Heisman Trophy candidate, but whether or not winning every game is going to be enough, I don't know yet.
So the Cougars and Taysom Hill ready to go here at home against Utah State. And there's a lot of emotion here inside Lavelle Edwards Stadium. Really one of the great scenes, one of the great settings in the country for college football. Late night under the lights in Provo. And the students are really excited for this one.
This is an in-state rivalry game. There's a lot of emotion in this stadium for both teams.
Well, Utah State won the toss, and they defer, so that means BYU will get the ball first. And you saw Taysom Hill on the sideline getting ready to take the field. Adam Hine, Paul Lasike deep, but it's not a high arcing kick, just a low squibber that kicks out of the end zone. And so a touchback as Taysom Hill and company take the field for the first time. The throwback royal blue BYU uniforms tonight.
You like them. I'd still like to go back to the white pants, but they look awesome. I'll tell you what, Taysom Hill having a great season. He's still not the most accurate passer he'd like to be, but he is the most elusive quarterback, one of the strongest runners in Division I football.
And clearly, so far this year, one of the elite players in the country.
Defenses hate to see him on the other side of the ball.
So Taysom Hill in the shotgun. And on the first play, he's going to look to pass, and he's going to look to go deep. Right sideline, and it is caught along the sideline by Jordan Leslie.
And I think he want to come out right now and say, hey, I can throw the ball. I can throw it accurately, and I can throw it deep. Let's make sure that he caught this ball and got it down inbounds. Can't really tell from that angle if he had possession of the ball. But I'm going to, I'll tell you what, that's really close.
I think he got in. I think it was good, and they're going to snap the ball and get the play off. Leslie with the catch for a much shorter game on play number 2 inside the 20.
BYU may be seeing something from Utah State. They're very worried about the running game and about Taysom running. They may be getting the type of coverage they want on the outside to allow him to throw the ball.
A 54-yard pass play on the first play of scrimmage. Now it's second down and 6 to go for Hill and the Cougars. Give straight ahead running. Jamal Williams with the carry. We'll see a lot of Williams. He is a dynamic complement to Hill in the backfield.
His speed is impressive. He's a very explosive player for them, and he complements the running game with Taysom Hill very well.
So Williams with the gain of 6. It's first down BYU. And not quite first and goal. They can get a first down at the 1. Receiver in motion. Hill looking to throw. Moving around and incomplete, intended for Leslie again.
And that's when he's the most dangerous. The Utah State coaches talked about the fact that they're more concerned when he drops back to pass but then doesn't find somebody, tucks it and run. And they really have to have the entire front 7 alert to stop him.
One of the quickest tempo offenses in all of college football. And they don't always snap the ball immediately, but they get to the line, get into the formation as fast as they can. 2nd and 10, and the fake give. Hill, no one to pitch the ball to, so he'll just get to the edge himself and hurdle into the end zone. Touchdown. What a statement right away from the junior star, Taysom Hill, 11 yards.
He is so fast. The defense has to take different angles, different pursuit angles to catch him.
Trevor Sampson, the place kicker for BYU, and that extra point up and good.
As we watch this replay, I want you to take a look, because he literally, a normal quarterback, a dual threat guy, right at this point would throw the ball outside to the receiver. You see at the far side of the picture, he just outruns everybody and then hurdles. No worries about his body. He's going over the top.
Just the spectacular athleticism from Taysom Hill.
I'll tell you what, we talked about this too. He's protecting his body sometimes this year, but first down, touchdown, or what, he doesn't care. He's going over the top.
Well, the star BYU making a statement early, and for more on number 4, let's welcome in Allison Williams.
Taysom Hill could not ask for a better start against Utah State, because he doesn't exactly have the fondest memories of playing them. Go back to 2012. It was in the final minutes against the Aggies that he suffered a season-ending knee injury. And then last year against Utah State, Hill, who is so prolific in the run game, was held to just 14 yards on 9 carries. The good news is for Hill, he has never lost to Utah State. So tonight, as he continues to make his Heisman Trophy push, he will look to continue that win streak and avoid some of those personal setbacks.
Well, and I don't think there's any question right now that Taysom Hill is a Heisman Trophy candidate. Yeah, there just aren't many players in the country who can do all the things he could do. He's
an exceptional football player with the ball in his hands. If he continues to throw like he has early on, he will be in the Heisman Trophy finalist conversation.
Kickoff into the end zone. Kennedy Williams takes a knee. And so for the first time, Utah State has the ball, already down 7-0 after that 75-yard drive. And you see number 10, Darrell Garrettson, Chucky Keaton, their star quarterback, is out. We don't know if he's out for the rest of the year. He's out for a while. So for now, Darrell Garrettson, this is his team.
And you know what? He's a very good passer. He played a lot last year. He's already played a bunch this year. The team trusts him. He's the son of a coach. They want him to be a little bit more mobile, buy a little bit more time in the pocket, and make his reads just a little bit quicker. But they're excited about the fact that he's played a lot this year. They trust him.
So the sophomore, Darrell Garrettson, brings a man in motion. That's Hunter Sharp. The fake on the fly sweep. And Garrettson, with tons of time, throws it out of bounds. Now, JoJo Natson, he didn't know where he was. The ball was way out of bounds as well.
No, and I'll tell you what, he had a ton of time. They were worried about the variety of rush lanes that BYU has. They are a zone blitz team. They'll line up 4, 5, or 6 guys in the line of scrimmage and bring 4 or 5. You just don't know which ones, so they're trying to help the quarterback out by protecting him.
And there is Chucky Keaton, the senior from Houston, Texas, who had so many spectacular moments himself in his career. He is wearing the headsets. He's going to help out Utah State tonight. And a handoff straight ahead. Powerful running. A nice gain for Utah State. The Aggies on the ground. They need to establish something in the run game. That is number 41, Nick Vigil, who is a linebacker. So they're going to use him on offense tonight, apparently.
He's one of the best athletes on the team. An exceptional player, a difference maker, and they're going to use him wherever they can.
So Nick Vigil, a little wrinkle already. The underdog on the road, Utah State in a pistol-type formation with Joe Hill, now their regular tailback. In the backfield along Garrettson. And on 3rd and 2, they hand it off to Hill. Bouncing off a tackler, spinning around, and he lunged forward just to get there. He got 3. He needed 2. It's a first down, Utah State. Mike, when the Aggies have the ball, give me your impact players.
Well, it starts with JoJo Natson. He's the most explosive weapon they have on offense. He's also their, he's the receiver, but he's also their leading rusher. But on the other side of the ball, Bills and Stout, the 2 leading tacklers on the team from the secondary and the linebacker position, have to stop him wherever he's at.
So the Aggies move the ball to the 36 of Utah State. Another fake fly sweep. This time Garrettson moving left and delivers a perfect ball right near midfield. Caught for a first down. That's JoJo Natson.
Both of these teams talk about how well coached each others are, and they have great respect for the systems that they run. Let's take a look again. He was juggling that a little bit as he went out of bounds. They may want to take another look.
Well, the ball, his knee was down, and that may end up determining the play. But the ball did come out as he landed out of bounds. 1st and 10. And that flanker in motion. They're not going to review it. And that is a fly sweep. Devontae Robinson out into the open. Makes a man miss inside the 30. Hit hard down to the 29.
This is a huge play in the Utah State offense. And really that's why JoJo Natson is their leading rusher, because they run this fly sweep to a lot of the receivers. They like to attack the flanks of this defense. They're not quite as big as the BYU offensive line. It's not as great a matchup inside. They feel their speed can help them get on the outside and get yards.
Well, that was 20 yards, and now well into BYU territory inside the 30. So the Aggies showing something on offense. They bring Natson into the backfield, hand it off to Hill, and BYU read that beautifully. That's number 90, Bronson Kafusi. Mike, he may be the most talented BYU defensive player, but he's been out basically since week 1.
And he's got reach. He's 6'7", or whatever the case may be. They're so excited to get him back because of the length he brings to that defense, especially on the edge.
So 2nd down. Basically, Hill just got back to the line of scrimmage. So call it 2nd and 10. Handoff once again. Hill squirts through and gets inside the 25 down to the 24. So you got 5 yards to set up 3rd down.
Yeah, nice job of getting half of that back to set up a very manageable 3rd down. You've got to play on the receivers very tightly, because the quick passing game can get it. If you get off coverage, they're going to take that. You also want to spread the defense out as they're doing.
One thing to keep in mind, Utah State's kick game has been a disaster.
Yeah, so this could be 4-down territory.
Could be. That's Sharp in motion, and Garrettson drops the ball, now loses it backwards, and BYU makes a recovery. Jordan Johnson, the defensive back, picks up the fumble. Cougars get the turnover.
That's too bad, because that's one of those self-inflicted wounds that you hate to see happen in a good game. But you got to make sure, one of the things, you're not up there taking the snap under center, so you've got to watch that shotgun snap all the way in. Young quarterbacks sometimes tend to take their eyes to the read, so as they go, a little bit of a low snap, not too bad, but you got to cover that ball. And BYU is just a little bit faster getting to it.
ESPN College Football Primetime is brought to you by Wells Fargo. When people talk, great things happen.
Some shots of BYU's Athletic Museum and Hall of Fame, which celebrates the great history of athletics here on this campus tonight, especially honoring Jim McMahon, one of the all-time great quarterbacks in college football history. At long last, they are retiring his number at halftime. He has officially graduated, so that means his number can make it up onto the facade here at LaVell Edwards Stadium, and the fans in their own way celebrating the legacy of Jim McMahon.
I had my shades, but I'm still looking for my headband. Where is it? Come on.
Well, Jim McMahon is here. Everybody's got those number 9 t-shirts. Taysom Hill and company. A powerful offense in their own right, and now a pass right side and read beautifully by Utah State. Taron Houck with the catch, but the immediate tackle in the open field by the true freshman Jalen Davis. Here's what we're talking about. The greats honored here in Provo. Detmer and Young and Nielsen and others, and yeah.
Somebody else to come.
See the curtain unveiled at halftime. 3rd down and 9. Hill looking to throw deep, wide open, and just a little bit out of the reach of the intended target there. Incomplete, trying to hook up with Mitch Matthews.
You know, this is one where he just needs a little bit more touch. He's got such a strong arm. Sometimes it gets away from him wide open. Nice patience in the pocket, though. He's getting better at sitting there and letting the routes develop down the field. Now he just has to increase his accuracy quotient.
So a 3-and-out for BYU's offense. And Scott Arlano, the punter, who by some measure, has been the best punter in college football this year. Natson, who's an excellent return man. That was not a great punt. Natson comes up and signals fair catch at the 20. So BYU hoping to make their way to the college football playoff on defense when we come back.
ESPN is your home of the new college football playoff.
Well, look what's here. The national championship trophy presented by Dr. Pepper, making the trip to Provo, Utah on this beautiful October night. And part of the story here tonight, Mike, BYU, they're undefeated. They've climbed to number 18 in the country. And the Cougars, although it won't be easy, the strength of schedule is definitely going to be a hurdle. BYU feels like if they run the table, and they got a great shot to do it, then they can be at least in the conversation to grab one of those 4 playoff spots.
They will definitely be in the conversation. We'll have to determine at the end of the year if their strength of schedule has improved a little bit over what we perceive it to be now.
Utah State taking another shot deep, and that one wasn't real close. Intended for Damone Patterson, the freshman wide receiver from the sophomore quarterback Darrell Garrettson from Chandler, Arizona.
You know, last time they had the ball, they drove 8 plays, and they really covered a lot of field, but you can't turn the ball over. You can't have an 8-play driver when you cross the 50-yard line end up in no points. That's not what's going to help them against BYU tonight.
Yeah, they had a 3rd down inside BYU's 25-yard line, and the shotgun snap was dropped by Garrettson. Now Garrettson, for the first time, goes under center on 2nd and 10. And a handoff. Trying to find some room. Hill, and just nowhere to go. Swarmed by BYU's defense.
They like that 12 personnel configuration, 1 back, 2 tight ends. They think it gives them an advantage against BYU in terms of pass protection and run. There it did not.
That's a loss of 2. Now 3rd and 12. And these are the spots, Mike, where it seems like BYU dials up the pressure.
Yeah, you will watch them. They should have between 4, 5, or 6 people attacking the line of scrimmage. 4 or 5 will come, 2 will drop out.
And you see that number. Utah State has been a terrible 3rd down team so far this year on offense. 3rd and 12. Here comes some of that pressure, but Garrettson, no. The whistle blew. That was a false start before the play even got going.
False start. 76 of the offense. 5-yard penalty. 3rd down.
You know, that can be called both ways, because the linebacker faked like he was coming, which is a football move, so the offensive lineman cannot flinch at all. And now they got themselves deeper in the hole. 3rd and 17. There's not a lot of plays that you like when you're 3rd and 17. And now BYU can decide to play zone, just let them dump the ball off, play deep. Nobody behind you, just tackle them, because you got 17 yards to tackle the receiver.
Cougars looking for the stop. And Garrettson, with still 10 on the play clock, trying to get some sort of signal. And now he is trying to communicate with the line with the play clock winding down. And I think they got it off. Handoff Hill. And pursued to the sideline, knocked out of bounds, well short of a 1st down.
They recognized that they were only going to rush 3, drop 8. They audible to a run play. They got half of it back, but when you're 3rd and 17, getting half doesn't help you.
So an 8-yard carry, 4th down, and the punt team will come out for Utah State. Garrettson talking to his head coach, Matt Wells, in his 2nd year as the head man up in Logan. A couple hours drive from where we sit here in Provo. Jaron Bentrude, the senior punter, kicks one high, and that is a penalty. Without question, the hit before the return man Blackman had a chance to catch it.
Yeah, that wasn't good. I'm not even sure why he would do that. He hit him before there was any chance the guy had not touched the ball. You got to give him your space. You can hit him, but I'll tell you what, it's not going to help the emotionally charged atmosphere that we have in this game.
Interference with the opportunity to catch the kick. Number 84 of the kicking team. Penalty will be 15 yards. 1st down.
So that's a big penalty on Damone Patterson, and his head coach not happy with him. And that guy, Taysom Hill, and BYU will have the ball when we come back here to Provo with excellent field position starting near midfield. BYU and Hill already leading 7-0.
ESPN College Football Primetime is presented by Jimmy John's Great Sandwich Delivery, and in part by Dr. Pepper, always one of a kind.
Well, that was the scene last night just outside Lavelle Edwards Stadium. First time all year that the students have been allowed to do that. Camp out to get in first, get the great seats, and maybe there's some of the folks who slept into sleeping bags. Under the stars in Provo, Taysom Hill and company. Back on the field, Jamal Williams with the carry. And immediately into Utah State territory. A gain of 6 on the first down run.
And when you start at almost midfield, you have great field position. You have to expect to get some points out of this type of drive.
Taysom Hill and the BYU offense down the field for a touchdown. First time they had the ball. That's an excellent open field tackle. I think Hill did get to the first down mark, and they will spot him with the first down. But Zach Vigil prevented that from being a much bigger gain.
The emotional leader of that football team. He and his brother Nick. Nick is the great playmaker. Zach is the great leader.
And that could have been a huge gain for Hill. Those kind of tackles are critical against the BYU quarterback. Play fake and pressured. He can't get away. Sacked by Elvis Kamanamatagi, the nose tackle. It'll be second and long. Let's go down to Allison Williams.
Yeah, nice play for the Utah State defense that's looking to dial it back a little bit, play more base defense. Defensive coordinator Todd Orlando just saw too much hesitation. He wants his guys to be able to cut it loose out there.
Well, they cut it loose on that play. 7-yard loss. And it's hard to bring Hill down in the open field. It's hard to bring him down in the backfield.
It is. He's so elusive and so strong.
Flag thrown as the play got started. That's a penalty against the Cougars.
False start. 55 of the offense. 5-yard penalty. Second down.
That's the referee, Rick Lumiere. Numbers for Utah State on the defensive side. Excellent run defense for the Aggies.
Fourth in the nation. Only 78 yards a game. I think 2.2 yards per rush average giving up coming into this game.
Second and 22. Hill almost intercepted, and then off the fingertips of Taron Houck, his intended receiver. Brian Sweet, the safety, came over in coverage.
They're running more drop back, keeping him in the pocket, and just slightly misjudged this ball. Otherwise, that could have been picked.
Third and 22. After the penalty, shy of midfield. Hill again looking to throw, again pressured and scrambling. Tripped up in the open field by the younger brother, Nick Vigil.
That was a heck of a tackle. Anytime you can tackle Taysom Hill one-on-one in the open field, that's a great play. Here they have him, just can't quite corral him back there. He's still looking down the field. Nice job there, but missed the stiff arm, and the guy got a chance to get his ankle. Nice play, Nick Vigil. Big playmaker for them. 4th
and 15. The Cougars just across midfield are going to punt the ball back to Utah State. Scott Ariano, the punter. Natson standing at the 10. An end-over-end punt. Natson fair catch at the 15. Now that's where the Aggies are back on offense after a 30-yard punt. Well, on Saturday, division rivals clashing. That's tomorrow. 2 critical SEC West showdowns on ESPN. First at noon, it's Texas A&M on the road against that surprising but excellent Mississippi State team. And then LSU struggling and a real challenge on the road at number 5 Auburn. That one at 7 Eastern. Also on ESPN.
LSU got pushed around earlier this year by Mississippi State. I'm almost afraid what Auburn might do to it.
The Tigers may be licking their chops to go up against the Tigers, which doesn't happen very often. Garrett's in the quarterback and the play fake. Quick throw to Natson, and Natson breaks a tackle with that great speed, and a flag thrown. That's going to be a late hit out of bounds that will tack on some extra yardage on what was already a nice gain.
Natson, you have to be aware of where he is. He has such great acceleration if you don't take the correct angle. This is a great lead block there by the other receiver on the outside.
Foul with a late hit out of bounds. Number 2 of the defense. The penalty is 15 yards from where the play ended. First down.
And you could see right there, he purposely went out of bounds, stepped out of bounds before the contact. Not to draw it, but he thought he was going to be safe. Still got a hit, and that's the penalty. Yeah, BYU has to be very frustrated. They didn't take advantage of the field position and then get another 15-yard penalty on top of that.
16-yard gain, 15-yard penalty. Dallin Levitt, who is really a hard hitter in the secondary for the Cougars. So out to the 45 of Utah State for Garrettson and his offense. Looking to throw middle, and a pass that was incomplete, and that one could have been picked off, intended for Sharp. Robertson Daniel with the coverage.
You know, I talked to the coaches about Dallin Levitt because he shows up on film. He's a heat-seeking missile that's a little bit wild, and I asked Coach, what's the best thing about him? He says the best thing about him is he's wild. The worst thing about him, he's wild. He's got to tone it down just a little bit.
And number 2, he's the big hitter back there in the secondary. Sophomore from Portland, Oregon. Still plenty of time on the play clock for the Aggies. Garrettson looking to throw. Good protection. Pass is caught, turned upfield, and a first down with the run after catch from the junior Hunter Sharp.
He's actually their leading receiver on the field. JoJo Natson has touched the ball a lot more, but hasn't caught as many passes. And they like Sharp. He's also got speed and elusiveness.
12 yards on that completion. So they do have some weapons. Utah State does when they have the ball.
And they're a no-huddle team, but they're going to vary the tempo. They can go fast, but they really want to get a clear idea of what BYU is doing in terms of the rush.
The true freshman Lawan Hunt in the backfield. He gets the ball straight ahead, running inside the 40 to the 39. So that's 4 more yards for Utah State.
They want to use the fly sweep concept, that going to the outside to open up some inside running lanes for their power running. And they like to run downhill, but they know that they don't have enough muscle up front right now, so they've got to camouflage it a little bit.
Second and 6. The Aggies been pretty effective here in the first quarter, moving the ball. Play fake after the fake fly sweep. Garrettson again with all kinds of time, and to the far sideline, the pass is complete. It's Hunter Sharp again.
Nice double move. He was well covered, initially ran a post corner. Then we get another look at it. Just take a look right here. Goes to the inside and breaks. Does a great job of breaking flat away from the defender. Nice job to get the protection to let that route develop down the field.
23 yards through the air from Garrettson to Sharp. And once again inside the 20. The linebacker Nick Vigil once again in the backfield. And Vigil is going to get the ball, running right side and carrying that tackler with him. You see the power of big Nick Vigil. This is something we have not seen for the Yankees.
It reminds me of Miles Jack for UCLA, who starts at linebacker but comes over and is one of their best running backs when they choose to use him.
Well, he might be their star on defense, and maybe he's got a chance to be one when the Aggies have the ball. He's staying in the game this time, straight behind Garrettson. You can see the quarterback.
They got to tell him where to line up
exactly.
and where to go each time. You go on the right side of me this time.
If I give you the ball, just start running toward the end zone. 2nd and 5. They give him the ball, and he is running toward the end zone. Still going, and he just knocked the safety backwards, Levitt, and got the first down.
That's a great football player, natural football player. When you tell him where to go, he doesn't know where to go, but he can feel it. And you see us watching right there. Watch him make contact right there. Keep the feet driving, move the body.
Well, that was impressive. So 1st and goal, and why take him out? 7-play drive. This would be play number 8. They've already gone 79 yards. Under center. Sharp comes in motion. They give it to Nick Vigil, and not that time. Although with that power, he at least gets a yard.
Yeah, it's very important, imperative even, the Utah State get on the board, and certainly they would prefer a touchdown here. They have made mistakes at the end of both of their previous drives. They've got to cash this one in.
Well, Nick Vigil at Fremont High School in Plain City, Utah, he was an all-state running back. So he played linebacker, but was an excellent high school running back.
I have no doubt about that. They talked about him being one of the best athletes on the field.
Tight end in motion, Jefferson Court. Garrettson looking to throw. Pump fake, pressure. Garrettson scrambling and shoved out of bounds. And he lost a yard, maybe a yard or 2.
Great coverage because there was plenty of time. BYU plays a matchup zone down there. They did a great job of keeping him from getting any of the receivers from getting open. Garrettson had nowhere to go. Nice job though of scrambling, get some positive yards, get down the field.
Peck gets credit for the sack. So 3rd and goal from the 7. Chucky Keaton, the normal starting quarterback, hurt and out for this game. His backup Garrettson in. Kennedy Williams in the backfield. A low snap. A little pump fake, but he delivers. Touchdown, Devontae Robertson.
You know, sometimes when the quarterback drops the ball, the defense pauses to take a look to see where they need to rush and come out of their pass coverage. I think that actually helped them in terms of the execution of this play.
So Robinson catches from Garrettson. 7-yard touchdown, and Utah State is an extra point away from tying up this game. 10-play drive, 85 yards, impressive. And Nick Diaz, these have not been automatic for Utah State. This time up and good. So the Aggies, an impressive drive. Their head coach Matt Wells happy about the way Utah State went down the field. The sophomore quarterback with the excellent delivery. Darryl Garrettson, yeah, you could be pumped about that one. Utah State has tied BYU 7 apiece. Chase for the NASCAR Sprint Cup heads to the contender round. 12 battling, 8 advancing points get all reset. It's NASCAR Sprint Cup Series at Kansas Sunday at 1 on ESPN. Presented by Dodge. We are here in spectacular Provo. Lavelle Edwards Stadium is jam-packed tonight for this interstate rivalry. Utah State on the road. And they have tied BYU 7 apiece. Dave Fleming, Mike Bellotti, Allison Williams, Taysom Hill getting ready to get the ball back. Mike, yesterday we were here ahead of the game. Mike had a chance to stroll the field and chat with the Heisman Trophy candidate, Taysom Hill. Talk a lot of football. The kickoff from Thompson will go through the end zone. And let's hear a little bit of that conversation between Mike and Hill.
How's it feel to be on the Heisman list as a junior?
It's a great honor. You know, I think growing up, I obviously followed that award very closely. I watched the Decembers, and to be recognized among the athletes right now is just an honor. You know, I do my best not to worry about those things or those conversations, but it's a great honor.
Well, Taysom Hill, who is not just a great player, really fun to talk to, very insightful, a true leader on this team, with a pass completion to Taron Houck on first down after the kickoff. So it's 2nd and 5. And BYU made a substitution, so even though they get to the line, Utah State is allowed to substitute themselves. So the officials wait for the snap. Straight ahead running Jamal Williams, and just a little bit short of the first down.
Right
up 3.
And you saw the official run in and cover the ball and not allow the snap, because you're right, the offense substitutes, the defense has the opportunity to match that substitution.
Now time's going to run out in the first quarter before BYU gets off this 3rd down to play, and a competitive first quarter here in Provo. 7-7 the score.